Greetings, peace. This video is going to be in response to Kudjo, Grand Sheik Kudjo of the Canadian Canaanland Moors. And I'm also going to address why I said Taj Tariq Bey does not have authority. He has no authority. I made a video recently and I triggered emotional Moors. And I got scores of comments and feedback, negative and positive. So, Grand Sheik Kudjo Bey took it upon himself to comment on my channel and other channels. And Taj Tariq Bey, he believes the Moorish Science Temple of America has not exerted any power since its inception. And that he wants to do the consular courts. And Grand Sheik Kudjo Bey, he believes that I am exposed by using SPLC, Southern Poverty Law Center, and his followers believe I'm an agent because I took the U.S. Justice Department data proving that they know the difference between the Moorish Science Temple of America and the Moorish Divine Movement from secular individuals and opportunists. I explained it plain as day. I don't see how I expose for wanting to delve into the information and research for myself. I'm a researcher, a basic researcher, information specialist, a net researcher, learning on my own, and I'm being confronted by Moorish Americans, hostile Moorish Americans, supposedly Muslims, supposed to be Islam, and they're telling me that I'm exposed, I'm an agent, and I'm denationalizing Taj Tariq because I said he has no authority. You know, me being me, questioning things like the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali told me to question things. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and we have these people claiming to be Moors going against me, especially this dude named Canaanland Moors. So this video is going to be a quick response to him, what I believe he represents, and others who got on my videos disrespecting me. I'm going to go through all of that, and I'm going to let you know why I stand where Chicago stand in my community, and you know how we think about these type of guys. So I'm going to break all of this down. I want you guys to know what this is all about. You know, this is about the Moorish Divine Movement and the Circle 7 divinely prepared by the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali, right? His movement. And we have other guys who have their way. So that's all I said. They have the Prophet's way and they have their way. So I let the Prophet speak for himself. All I do is relay the information the Prophet brought. It's like I'm handing you his pamphlet. That's it. And I'm walking off. You know, but my news network is about my community and how we network. It's not about Canaanland. It is not about Taj Tariq or Negus heir to the land or anybody else. It is about Chicago people and folks. It is for us and by us. And it is many different cultures in America and ethnic groups who happen to be Islamic. And we don't dictate them. But as long as they are in conjunction with these said laws. So I'm not causing confusion. I'm going to prove that Kudjo Bey is causing confusion as well as Taj Tariq Bey. I'm going to prove it with supreme data, and you can discern the truth from the lie. Let's go in.
All right, but all of the areas are broken into districts. The archbishop of this particular area, all right, because their corporation comes under him.
Okay.
The Pope's letter to Obama, July the 4th, 2014. You have that? Yes. Civil order? All right. Now, you're going to make a complaint to the archbishop in the area. Make sure you get their names. Make sure you state for the record with witnesses that they have no bond. They have no business even being on the street. Okay. You know that, right?
Absolutely.
They have the bond is their insurance to do business on our land. And now keep in mind what he says, that violation of international law. They're going after their bonds. They're going after the captain, whoever sent them out here. All right? They're in violation of the Constitution. They're in violation of the treaty. All right? They're doing it because they know most people don't know their rights. They're operating under the coup d'etat of 1871. It's called the Act of 1871. Write that down so it reminds you something.
I was about to say, I'm recording.
De facto sheriff comes in. You know, his job is to carry out the law. Their job is to violate the law. They're on different sides. Now we know that that the sheriff is compromised. However, he's obligated to that Constitution and treaty. They're not. They're obligated to corporations. And their business, this is why they carry out Christian black codes. Number one, this is where he's coming from, why he made that statement. All right. Now the Attorney General is the comptroller of alien properties, all alien properties. And so they're assuming, they're not assuming, under the hypothecation, they're trying to claim that your property is their property. And this is the basis upon which they're making their claim, where they stop. All right? Because the tag is registered.
Yeah, it's registered.
To their trust.
Okay.
And this is why you deal with the Archbishop. Now, so the problem that you have that's going on right now, and this is where.
All right.
You probably can view the video yourself if you want to see the rest of the information that he was giving out for the free. So Taj Tariq Bey, I don't know if he's a Grand Sheik or if he's in the temple. I doubt it because he's against the temple. They even have videos of him talking to Grand Sheiks about this same topic. So we are Moorish Americans. We can't be denationalized by nobody, you know, as long as you proclaim your nationality. I have a right to talk about this type of stuff. And, you know, up and coming, you know, I see Kudjo Bey is, you know, a hit dog hollers. So, you know, he's in his feelings about me questioning Taj Tariq Bey authority. And as you can see in this video, when you watch it, he does not have any authority. He's trying to be a consultant or a paralegal or a law advisor to someone who was pulled over by the policy officials of the municipality. And they are in city limits. So he's letting the brother know, whatever, you know, that your plates are in a trust that gives them jurisdiction over you for a corporate matter. So basically, I said Taj Tariq Bey doesn't have any authority because, you know, he's not in the MDM. He's not in the MDM, and the Moorish American Constitution clearly shows that he's causing confusion. So if he was an official, a national, or even a federal official, he could not come down and meddle into this municipality's affairs. That is like a marshal or a DEA agent, an ATF agent, just pulling up, you know, talking to these officers while they're conducting their affairs with this person in his conveyance or car. So a federal official or a national official wouldn't do that. They would lose their authority if they did that. A federal official couldn't even get in a YouTube chat with us and go back and forth with us, or they would lose their authority. The same for a national Grand Sheik or a Grand Sheik. A Grand Sheik cannot get in a YouTube chat with me or any Negro, black, and color and maintain their authority. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is law. I can prove it to you that a Grand Sheik cannot use a speaking lingo that we cannot understand. You have to speak clearly and intelligently. You cannot be rapping and trapping and skipping and bapping, doing videos talking about you are a Grand Sheik using profane language. You understand what's going on now? So I'm going to prove to you that Kudjo Bey and Taj Tariq Bey are causing confusion. Right? So I would play the video, but this is really not about Taj Tariq. It is about Kudjo Bey. So let's go into Kudjo Bay's channel and see what he got going on with the comments. And I'm going to go to the comments on my channel. Because we see Taj Tariq Bey is on the city streets in an incorporated town, teaching law for the free, you know, for his brother, man, and friend he trying to save. And he have the feds wearing brothers and sisters with him, as well as a sister in the burqa, hijab, covered up. And, you know, they're just out there fighting the power. They're fighting the city cops. And I don't know his status as a Moor. I don't know if he's a Grand Sheik or not in any temple. I don't know if he's Illinois 805 religious, 501c3, secular, independent, baron, duke. I don't know the brother. I just read some of his information, and I'm not in my feelings about it. You know, I just read information and go from there. I'm not hailing anybody king or martyr or saint. So let's move on to Kudjo. Let's dissect what this guy got going on. Let's say Canaanland. Matter of fact, let's go to my situation first, so we can see what his mind is at, and how Chicago breaks these dudes down. Jurisdiction. Okay, so I did the video on the U.S. Justice Department discern sovereign extremists from MSTA and MDM. Taj Tariq has no authority. I don't see how this video would offend anybody. You know, it sounds well put together to me, because the Moorish Science Temple of America is our sacred grove. It is where we go and get this lofty wisdom and study law. And the Moorish divine movement is for the uplifting of fallen humanity, is the spiritual and divine aspect of our nationality. Okay? So Taj Tariq has no authority. I showed you on the sidewalk talking to his brother. He was not talking to the officials or the policy attorney general subordinates. He was not talking to them. He was talking to his brother, and his brother was letting him know it's registered, it's registered. I heard him say it. So he shot the video, and, you know, I don't know what government Taj Tariq is from, you know, because he is not MDM. Because when you are MDM, you simply put the prophet out front, and you are a Moorish scientist. That means you are studying women all day, making sure they are back into their proper places. The Moorish movement is about women and women only. I'm not saying that it is a movement by women and for women, but it is the feminine aspect of making sure they are not out of whack, because we are here for them. And if they are not right, we are not right. So we don't have time to waste. Every day, all we do is worry about women, and the women need to worry about us all day, every day, vice versa, and we balance each other out. So let's go into the comments of these guys, these zealots, these fanatics, these extremists who don't want me to have a voice. I did the video. It already did 300 views in one day. That is pretty decent. And I already got 8 dislikes. It is about Moorish Americans, so you know Moors are in their feelings thumbs downing my video. They should have thumbs up the video, because I had the courage to even do a video about Taj Tariq, which I said nothing about him. I showed you where a law center gathered information and intelligently put it together to show you the difference between what they view as extremists who had already been arrested for fraud. Dealing with fiat currency, they were arrested for fraud, and they're also exposed by this company for not being the same as the MSTA. The company clearly says it in the article that the MSTA and the Moorish sovereigns, a definition for people who want sovereignty from the state. They want to be separate from the state. And that is the definition the United States law researchers give them. So they are extremists, and they are not MDM. I said nothing wrong, and I'm about to prove it. But we see we have 8 emotional Moors. So we have Negus, heirs to the land. He says, get the agent out of y'all. Bow to your pale sky daddy. I got you, bro. Hey, come on the show. Show up, LOL. I love showing you fake. Right? So we already know that's illiterate gibberish, and I'll address him another time. Let's go in on Canaanland and the officials of the Moorish so-called movement. We have Trey Young. He frequents Canaanland Moors and already went to his channel and read other comments and left comments. We're going to go through all of this. And we see Canaanland Moors is already doing the live. He ain't talking about me no more because I left those comments and I know he read it and it touched his soul. I'm going to go over these comments. I'm going to expose him and where Canaanland come from. I'm going to expose even more. Let's go over these comments, guys. Okay, so why would anyone take the word of the U.S. Justice Department agent? Shaking my head. Why you send them your paperwork and put them on notice then? If you don't want to take their advice, why you pay them? Because you are an agent, Trey Young. PNF Truths News Network. They're colonial occupiers who've exercised egregious acts against humanity. How does this video not bring confusion? If the purpose of proper scholarship is to allow one to decide for themselves, this is not that. This is bias as hell. This serves only to distract and disaggregate a nation that's already in shambles. This is disheartening. Inshallah, I will follow my higher self. That was a good reply, Trey Young. But I'll tag you later. I'll catch you later, Trey. Okay, so Canaanland say no such thing as a sovereign citizen. You are showing your color by using SPLC as a source. More, you played yourself. So I say, dude, you slow as that accent you got. How could I play myself? You are dumb. If someone thinks they are sovereign or above the law and claim Moorish living into themselves, they are playing sovereign games. Because no man lives unto himself. We are bound by cords of affection. You notice, and that is what the prophet simply came and got you Negroes and reminded you that you do have a Father God, Allah, and your ancestors, and you must remember your mothers and fathers so your days will be long. So if you remember your mothers and fathers, you gotta go by the rules that was already set in stone. So my videos about they are not MDM and they are causing confusion anyway. So I don't care if there is no such thing as a sovereign citizen, Kudjo. My video title says sovereign extremist, not sovereign citizen, you stupid islands person. You are guilty of causing confusion. Act 4 and Act 1, because the Grand Sheik can make law and enforce law, proving you are causing confusion and falsely accusing me. You debate and use foul language while meddling with minorities. You're a fool and you've been played yourself. You are stupid. Conway L. Stevens, a self-appointed Moor on YouTube who comments a lot all the way across the board. I've been seeing him comment for years. They think I don't know, but I pay attention. And he said I should do a live debate on the Washita with Eileen. And I let him know he's very disrespectful because I seen this comment on Clown Joe's channel just because I disagree with them. And I told him he's not going to do anything about Grand Sheik Kudjo for meddling with U.S. citizens and Negroes in the chat, disrespecting them, using profane language, using negative terms, disrespecting people, talking about he'll hack off the heads of Aboriginals. He's not going to do anything in the Kudjo, though. He's just going to ride Kudjo's coattail. Now, let's go to Kudjo. Actually, it's more comments. Let's see if I got some more on Kudjo. Okay, here go Kudjo. I actually erased the comment that I put up there because I used profanity. I really dissed the dude. So he said, who's Taj Tariq? That's denationalization, moving someone's bay. And why are you using SPLC as a reference when they are the Inquisition? Your video is suspect. You're not like a false prophet. F out of here, bro. You're talking S now. You're like a prophet. F out of here. So I'm going to break down his comment. He's basically saying I'm not like a prophet. I'm like a prophet. I'm talking S now. So I can really break this down that he's respecting me but not respecting me at the moment. So I don't feel totally disrespected because he know how I can deliver information. Now I want you to know, who is Taj Tariq. Taj Tariq is someone who set up the consular courts, and I don't know why he did it. He also is not MDM. All right? So if the prophet didn't bring that and he trying to do things himself, I don't know Taj Tariq. And when I broke down the Washita video, Kudjo Bay, you know, nobody rebutted it. They said, do the, brother Conway Ill said, do the live stream with Eling Bay. I did the video with Empress Verdi AC Bay LA 2 Spirit Birdash. That means the Birdash system where the men dress up as women to assume their roles of leadership. And that's what they did in the Washita. I accuse Madam Galston L. Bay as being a Birdash. Nobody rebutted it. And I called them Fed crisis actors because Doug the Mounja is Creole, just like Fawn DeLocke. It is nothing but Creole. It is no Doug the Mounja, nothing. And we know Washita stems from Wasi, which is nothing but the apostles and saints of the prophethood. And I accused the madam of being fake. Washita Nation branches fake. And I use SPLC as a source that the federal government knows the difference between them and the MDM. And Kudjo jumped all on my channel to make me feel less than someone who has the right to speak out and question things. I have every right to question things, and that's why I use this MST of A Grand Sheiks versus Taj Tariq thumbnail to show you that Taj Tariq actually did a video. He did a video with the Moor out in Detroit, right? He met up and he's questioning them about why the temple is not doing this, that, and the other for power and industry. And the Grand Sheiks of Chicago and Detroit is simply saying we are spirit, fixing people up, helping people, giving them the information Noble Drew Ali gave, and they can save themselves. And they want to use the temple for power grabbing. And I'm questioning the Taj Tariq Bay myself with my media, and Kudjo Bay don't like that. Kudjo don't like that. So let's go in on Kudjo, because I'm sure based off my comments his follower know what it is about to happen to him. Okay.
Active because
okay.
Today, Carol runs the Be the People Foundation. She writes and she does podcasts on a range of public policy issues.
today is Sunday morning. And that means that all across America in churches, there are people today that are praying for Brett Kavanaugh, and they're also praying for Christine Ford. And even though I'm here to talk about the Southern Poverty Law Center, you can't talk about the Southern Poverty Law Center without talking about the liberal left and the activists and the Democrats, because it's the same tactics being used against Brett Kavanaugh that were used against many of you all when you were smeared by the Southern Poverty Law Center.
Okay, let's go in. Alrighty. Who is... Oh, alright. I'll take that. Okay, Brett Michael Kavanaugh is an associate justice of the Supreme Court of the United States. He was nominated by President Donald Trump. Correct. So now let's go in. Let's go in, brethren and sisters. So Canaanland Moor, 7 reasons to beware of the Southern Poverty Law Center. So he's going to take advice by a bootlick Mason woman who is a Trump supporter. And I'm not saying if Trump is a bad guy, good guy, I really don't know. And Brett Kavanaugh was the pick by Trump, and he is saying that her advice that the SPLC smearing of Brett Kavanaugh is proof that SPLC is trash. I should not be getting information from them. Yet he goes up here to get a supporter of white supremacy to go against me. So this is a clown. This is a hypocritical clown, because I go to SPLC to prove that they know the difference between the MDM, MST and secular Moors. He goes up here to get Carolyn Swain to prove that I and you should not go to the SPLC. This is hypocritical. And I went up in here and told this dude, she's defending Kavanaugh, the Trump pick for the justice, and we have 7 reasons to avoid a fake Grand Sheik, guilty of Act 4 causing confusion and falsely accusing others. Video dropping on you today, clown. You engage with NBCs using profanity on YouTube every day. A Grand Sheik can make law and enforce law. So you are not a national leader or a official. You are a jackass. And I don't have to respect a rapping, trapping Grand Sheik that cuss out U.S. citizen minorities. You're a fool and your time is up. Now, he will never rebut that. He didn't. It's been 2 hours. He said nothing. This is how you know this dude is a clown. So, and look at all his following. You know, all of these followers, they have no idea he's a fame grabbing, islands goofy, a possible African. I think he's a African, because a lot of these Africans have those islander accents, like this Aboriginal son nigga. Because if you went to the MST and if you are learned, you know not to cause confusion. I'm going to prove to you that it is a violation, and it will get his face smacked off. So this clown want to know why I denationalized Taj Tariq Bey. You need to know why I will slap your face off, nigga. Because if a federal official or a national official is playing with me, if I'm walking up the street and you playing with me, you walking up on me, and you supposed to be a respectable, law-abiding Muslim, and you get to playing with me rapping, I'm going to slap your face off, nigga. That's why I denationalize him. So you see how critical it is, Kudjo? You see how it is now? I will slap your face off if you play with me. Now, if you come respectfully and intelligently, I give you an intelligent reply. So walk up to me with your face on, Kudjo, and see how much of a Grand Sheik you is, and that's how you know you are fake. Because although a security guard at a mall don't have a gun, although a security guard, you know, standing at a gate somewhere don't have a gun, I am not going to walk up and slap a security guard. I am not going to slap a police officer, whether you think they are de facto or not. But I'm telling you, I will slap your face off. So this will give you an idea of how Chicago think about you, Kudjo Bey. You understand? So let's go in on some more of his comments, because this is critical. This is letting you know how Chicago mentality address people like this and think about them, because they make these videos and write books and they think they are superheroes now. So this dude, he went in on me, man. Look at the dude. He went up in here and screenshot my video, screen recorded. So he used to respect this more for his work, but to deliberately remove Bey from Taj, use SPLC as a source, knowing they are European slander machine against Moors, and call yourself the prophet, you showed your true traitorous intent. So I don't know Taj Tariq. I don't know you if you're not MDM. You get what I'm saying? A Bey is an official. Do you dig? An L is an official. These people make law. They create law. They make law. They enforce law. I don't know if he's MDM. If you're not MDM, I don't know who the fuck you are, Kudjo. So you need to take this fucking video down, Kudjo the clown. How do I know Taj Tariq Bey? Just because he's reading from books and he says Islam, I, self, law, and master. Islam does not mean I, self, law, and master. He made that up. I read the Moors of the Round Table books and the CM Bey books. I read all of that. I respect all of that. But does that mean Taj Tariq Bey has authority? No, it doesn't. It means he write book and he speak. He speaks and he gives out law information. Good job. It is thousands upon thousands of people who do the same thing. So, I never said I was the prophet. You're a liar. I've said I'm like a prophet when I bring the information. You're a jealous, dirty bastard, and your time of causing confusion is up, Kudjo. the rapping Grand Sheik. So, Navi Poet says my logic is flawed. His left brain is dominating his whole being. Where are these dirty Moors coming from? Dirty Moors is something you shouldn't even tell somebody on the miniature level as me. I'm not even that much of a factor to be calling the dirty Moors to affect anybody. Like, look at the language these people use. He is glad that he used this particular video, Albicite L. This dirty Moor denationalized and deliberately moved Bay from Taj. Man, if you think I'm a dirty Moor, Google the Moor American Constitution, read Act 1 and Act 4. You will quickly see you are guilty as well as Grand Clown Kudjo of falsely accusing and causing confusion. So Conway L just left my channel. The Gold Shekel says this guy is telling truth with lies. Malik Day said he appreciate the post. Okay, so these are clowns. These are all clowns. Who tells these people I gotta accept anything Taj Tariq is talking about? Who told these people that? Did I gotta wake up and believe Taj Tariq Bey? Who told these people that I gotta listen to Kudjo? So they're spreading naught about me and PNF, and that is why Chicago people are totally different from these guys. Because you gotta understand, we are the first people to really break the truth about the 805 ILCS. That we are not 501c3. I did the video proving Dane Calloway wrong, not these goofies. A lot of these goofies don't make their meetings. Look at all of these goofies up in his chat. They think they're ganging up on me and up in their feelings. Let's go in. No matter how much information these niggas got, you understand how much information. It's about how you act and how you are living today. How are you doing your thing today? What are you doing today, right now today? You got all of this paperwork knowledge. You let your paperwork precede you, right? Just like a prophet is a prefate. You know, you prefacing, basically. So, all right. So, to cap this off, I made a video exposing with his term sovereign movements, including Washita and other little groups that's not MDM. And Taj Tariq Bey is suspect of MDM. If he's MDM or not, I don't know. And if I'm MDM and you are Morocco Kingdom, you are Marrakushite, you are Moroccan, whatever you are, that's on you. I'm on what I'm on, but Kudjo is saying I need to respect all Moors. I even need to respect African Moors. But what I'm telling you is I'm a Moabite. I'm from Chicago, and what we own is a little different, Kudjo, and all you people who think I'm a dirty Moor. So I'm people in Folks Nation, right? And you pretty much know what that sums up to. People who are active in their communities. So we are not like y'all. Y'all not like us. You can look at us. Let me give you people an example of, you know, how we cleaned ourselves up, but how we network. You know. So let's just give you an example of how we organize. And this is just us in Chicago. People and folks. Right. So he used to respect me, but he don't respect me no more. The guy, Kudjo, he don't respect me. So they call us gangs and whatever. But we use literature from the ancestors of the same creed as the Moorish Americans. And they went up in there and took all our information, infiltrated us like the Black Panthers, and called us all of these gangs and put drugs and criminal ops up in there to make it even look even worse for propaganda smearing. They messed us up pretty bad. And we were organized back in the day, but now we are all just Moorish under the MDM. You don't have a choice. You cannot be in a gang in Chicago anymore. It is no such thing but the signs and symbols are for the conscious mind to let you know what we were up to in Chicago. And as you can see, they do not mobilize or organize like us. The Kudjos and Taj Tariqs. They do what they do. We do what we do. We are not the same. And I have every right to question, Kudjo and anybody else, right? So I used to be his Moor, his friend, and I'm exposed. Just because I did a video about somebody who I felt like is not an authority. And I took his bay off of a video. And I'm sure, they did the same thing. I didn't see him write Taharka without the bay. He's a hypocrite. And I don't know you YouTube actors. You acting on YouTube, I don't have to put no bay up there. That's an official. You're official, right? Right? You got the power to enforce law. Why are you causing confusion? It's my question to Canaanland Moors and Taj them and everybody else who was holding them sacks, who holding their nuts. I'm asking you why you causing confusion. I'm going to prove you causing confusion. I'm going to expose Canaanland Moors and others. So I gave you the basic rundown in the beginning, and this is going to be the second part of the video. They left their comments. They make me look bad. I never said I was. Based on this article and their research, they know the difference. I use an article that says that the people that are researching us, they know the difference between sovereign citizens and the MSTFA and MDM. And this dude, a hit dog holler, goes in on me like an emotional little girl that he knows the drill in Chicago. If you ever thought you was a Grand Sheik or Kudjo Bay, make your meetings in Chicago, Kudjo Bay. Kudjo Bay, make your meetings in Chicago so we can talk face to face. Because it ain't no need in threatening nobody or playing, because you emotional and you know how we deal with emotions. Kudjo Bay, make your meetings this January in Chicago. If you think I'm a dirty Moor, if you think you can disrespect me, Kudjo Bay, if you think you can disrespect me, Kudjo, come to Chicago this January. Kudjo, since you're a Grand Sheik, and I'm going to prove you're not a Grand Sheik, charter or not. I'm going to prove that right now since you're going to slander me and cause confusion. Let's go in. Let's go in on him and the rest of these YouTube goofs. Let's go in on this guy. I'm gonna work on him. I'm still going to drop the Moabites video to show you why they are procrastinating. And a lot of these Moors think I don't listen to them. Because giving out historical knowledge and basic knowledge is one thing. But bringing something that the prophet didn't bring, putting glitter on top of what's already gold, trying it their way, talking too much, the foolishness of folly, all of that. Okay. I've got to be able to read this Constitution. I can't get a good one. Moors know the law, the Constitution. Define. Let's see this one. This is not a secure site. I'm out of here. Automatic. Okay, let's read this. This is the Moorish Science Temple of America, the Divine Constitution and Bylaws. So we can learn as we expose. Let's find out what divine is. What is divine? We can teach. It is okay to teach. We are all sheiks. Of, from, or like, or a God. Divinity. Right? Okay. So, divinity is like a god, right? And the Constitution is basically divinely prepared like the gods. And these are the laws of the Moor Science Temple of America, salvation, our God, unity, and that is the founder, the Holy Prophet, Noble Drew Ali, and the Moorish American prayer, Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day through his Holy Prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. So, Act 1. The Grand Sheik and the chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The assistant Grand Sheik is to assist the Grand Sheik in all affairs if he lives accordingly to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. So Act 1, the Grand Sheik and the chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America, the divine constitution. This is God-like stuff. This is not okie dokie, right? This is not everyday okie doke. So let's I'm gonna need the actual constitution. I need to read this correctly while I'm going in. See, I knew I shouldn't have went up in there. It says nothing. Moorish. I didn't even spell it right. Because we got to get them on these acts. Let's see this one right here. They go in. I should have had one. Because I don't want to read the one that he's guilty of. And I don't read it correctly. This is just nuts. It's like, why won't the Constitution just pop up? What are they talking about? They doing all this talking, man. Constitution. Oh, here go a PDF right here. You got to be kidding me. Okay. Act 2. Act 3. Okay, let's see Act 3. Let's go to Act 3. We have Act 1. The Grand Sheik and chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of the MST of 8. The assistant Grand Sheik is to assist the Grand Sheik in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And it is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. No member is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister because Allah is love. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government because by being a Moorish American, you are a part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. So, not only are you holy and divine, you are also part of the process of enforcing the laws. Right? Act 5. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Right? So Act 6 and Act 7, that's something else that I'm going to go over for root words 1. I'm going to do that particularly at a different time. Let's go over these false accusations by Kudjo Bay. Now, Allah is the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and is our protector and our guide and salvation. So if he is the Father, right? He is the Father, and we know a prophet is like it's pre-fate. It's having faith on the basis of soothsaying and knowing ahead of time. Almost being psychic in advance. Supreme. And divinity is godlike. It's deific. Godlike on earth is what we're dealing with. And Allah is the Father. So Allah is more than a prophet. Allah is more than a Muslim. Allah is more than a saint or a martyr or a Moor. So Allah is the Father, and He is always leading no matter what we do or don't do. And He is our Father. So he is the father of the prophet as well. He is the father of the prophet. Nowhere in the world I'm trying to usurp the prophet of the MDM. I am a member and part and parcel of the land and partial in the uplifting of fallen humanity. I donate and volunteer my time to help do this and give out the right information. That is correct. So, Moorish Americans' holy day is Friday, and a holy day for Muslims all over the world. So this is why we meet up on Friday as men, always, steel sharpen steel, sharing this information, staying industrious. And on Sunday school, the children attend with the women, because, we got to develop them into the leaders. That is what the temple do. It's simple. It's not that difficult. Kudjo is making it really, really complex, acting like we are a difficult group of people, when it is nothing but an organizing of families to recognize their culture and nationality. And we are the youth right now growing up. We are a bit different than them. They go about things differently in Canaanland. Right? So I read the Constitution. You can see if I'm causing confusion for yourself, because I questioned a Taj Tariq video and said he has no authority. He showed no authority standing on the sidewalk with all those fez wearing men. He got no authority in the city. The brother who had the conveyance got no authority as well. He had to comply with the state government and the local government. They had to comply for whatever reason. Taj Tariq Bey was telling him not to. You have to have courage for the truth. And we all admit that, the process of chattel slavery and bondage is a hell of a drug. But you sign your rights over, you participate in the game every day, and then you cry wolf. And that's exactly what they accused the Indians of doing when they got here. They wanted to get in the system of Christianity and, accept the strange customs and then cry wolf instead of being pure and clean like the prophet taught you. A lot of these people claim to be pure and clean, and they're not. A lot of these Moors on YouTube, they use foul language with fezes on. And, they convict people. They the judge and the jury. They convict us. They behead us. This dude wants to behead us, man. I can sit up there and play videos of this dude beheading aboriginals. Talking about he is the Iron Sheik. Wanting to behead us. And he pretty much goes at anyone who makes a video. If you make a video and you question the Moors, he goes in on you, man. And the prophet himself told us to question him and question everything he did. So he took the information from Carol Swain to discredit the Southern Poverty Law Center. He came for his brother Taj. And I'm sure he hit up Taj, the old man, shaking knees like Louis Farrakhan and Jay-Z on the corner, shivering, shaking and shivering somewhere, of old age, can't do nothing in the field, and he want me, he's probably calling him, look, Moore, I did the video for you, Moore. And man, got that dirty Moore out here in Chicago, people in Folk Nation, he out there making the video, Taj. In his accent, right? He's doing the video. Off with his head, Taj. Hoping Taj and them can unite because he think I self law and master means Islam. That is something Taj Tariq made up. Nobody made that up but Taj Tariq. Nobody made that up but Taj Tariq and his following. So we see this place, Dar es Salaam. You see this? They take this Islam and they make these acronyms. and they say, I self-law and master. Dar es Salaam in Islam is asylum. Let's look up asylum right quick. Let's show you how these clowns are confusing. Let's look up asylum. So asylum, the protection granted by a nation to someone who has left their native country as a political refugee. So after the Holy Wars and the Crusade, asylum was afforded by the consultants. Let's look up sultanate. These male warriors called the Solomons, right? We got Solomon, who was a consultant for the Queen of Sheba. This is where all of this began. These women's societies started getting their head busted by vandals and looters and criminals and rapists. So they went to Solomon and their warrior prophethood. They went to the best warriors ever for help, and they married into them. And this is where we get, our current civilization of the Moorish culture from. Now, this is actually an American ingenuity and practice. They call it Voltan. And I'm going to break that down in the Moabite video. And these people are in America and in Minor Asia. Now, the consultanate saved a woman with Islam after Jerusalem was sacked. These Jewish women, let's say, Jewish queen. Let's see. Fought against. Let's see if it pop up. I gotta look it up. I don't know it right now. Jewish Berber queen. That's what I'll say. Give you an idea of what I'm trying to prove before I go all the way in on canon. Jewish Berber queen. Fights Muslim, I think. Okay. Okay, so these Sunni, this is 7th century, right around the time, the inception of Islam as you know it, right? So you see her with the Tuaregs of the Niger Moors. These people are West Africans that we see today. And this woman with the signs and symbols was a queen of the Maghreb or Mareb. And she was a seer, so she probably thought she was a psychic too. And Canaanland Moors probably don't think she's a psychic. Or she's a prophet, a prophetess. So she's from the Berberish, and in the Algeria region, and she went against the Sunni males who was sacking her country, because this was going on in Mecca, and Muhammad had to step in to stop this because they believed they were idol worship, and that's what this is all about, destroying the Sufic tradition, right? So the consultants went in there and started Islam, is what I'm proving to you right quick. Asylum, it is nothing but asylum. It is not I, self, law, and master. These are lunatics who are just making up stuff on the fly, and then they get in their feelings because I question this stuff. You mean to tell me you're going to get upset and thumbs down my video because I question this nonsense? I said it's nonsense, and you're going to make me accept it? That is slavery. The Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali said that be careful because your own Moors will enslave you. They enslaved you into this doctrine of these signs and symbols with Islam. Islam does not mean I, self, law, and master. Taj Tariq Bey made this up. So what makes you think that I have to adhere to this when I know it means asylum from some prophet, warrior priest who gave women asylum because they were getting chased out of their lands? Prophet. My information is very pertinent to today's climate and temperature of hate. Because people are supposed to love and study instead of hate. And they are not. There's a such thing as a warrior prophet tradition, right? And we reading it right now. So I'm hitting you with the information, right? People believe they are warrior prophets, and Canaanland Moor, he will tell you, you are not a prophet. You are not from this bloodline. Allah is your father. Allah can do anything. Allah says you can be a deity, deific, Ra, elite Israelite on earth. You can be a Moabite. You can be more than you know. But Canaanland Moor says, no, you can't. You better not be claiming to be no prophet, because I never said I was the prophet of the divine movement. The MDM is not my movement. And if I start another movement, it is not going to be pertaining to the cares of today with the nationality. So we have the nationality, which is the order of the day with Noble Drew Ali. I can't top that. So no matter what I prophesize, it is not even relevant anyway. No matter what I tell myself, if I'm a prophet or not, it makes no sense. Everybody knows that it's not going to overshadow Noble Drew Ali. So what is this man proving? He's proving nothing, just like I prove Islam is asylum, just like Magi is not some magicians. It is magistrate, the juries, all of this, the Sharif, the Hadi Sharif. I proved it to you in my community. If you follow it, if you follow me, I proved this already. That Hadi Sharif are noble officers, Sultan, Napoleon. I proved to you, I gave you the definitions. Your buddy, Canaanland Moor, says that I used to be his Moor. So one video of me questioning Taj Tariq having no authority, and I don't know who the guy is just because he read out books and said I self law and master. I am supposed to be wooed. I am not easily duped, Canaanland Moor. That is not what I do. More I research and I question you. If you got questioned, you should have nothing to worry about, because your paperwork should precede you. Your work, your fruit should precede you. Everybody should already know that you are great, right? So I didn't denationalize Taj Tariq Bey. He denationalized himself, because I do not know if he's the Moorish divine movement. If he's in the MDM, he has to keep the prophet out first. I don't need to know his name. You know, if he got a news channel, if he have a law firm, cool. If he's a government official, I don't need to know about him on the YouTube. He is not a star. He is not a YouTube star. He is not a politician. I am not ever going to vote for him. Not one day. If he ever walk up to me with a fez, acting like he's my adult or my savior, he's going to get met with resistance. He knows what it is, so he has to come in peace, as he's taught. Now, let's go in on the Canaanland Moor. On this Canaanland. Right? These Canaanland people. And we understand Canaanland are the people that we eventually united with when our when our indigenous American Rapa Nui, Maya Moye, when the Moye Maya went up there and taught them the concept of zero. And the Alvars, the Andalusians are of America, of Morelia, and the Peruvians, right? Peruvians and the Andes Mountain is the number one, the oldest trading port in the world. Andes silver mine first. International port. Let's see if it pop up right quick. So we have the Potosi, and it is the first global city. And this is in America, not in Minor Asia or anywhere else. From Burma to Baghdad. So that is Southeast Asia, Iraq. And this is a silver mining community developed right here in America. Even Chaldean priests came over here. Jews, everybody traded here. And we know Peru is also where they developed cocaine. So we know our people went to Canaan. We went over there and we added our concepts with those people. Right? We married with those people. We've been there a long time ago. And the Kano state exists right now. We know exactly who the Nigerians are. We have the same customs as them. They wear fezzes. They are Islam. They are revelation. They are prophetic. They are divine. They have many practices. It is nothing to be emotional about. But Canaanland Moors wants to enslave us. He wants us to follow him and his idealisms instead of keeping the prophet out first, because it should be raw with no tanks. It should not be Tony. There are no Tony Moors or dirty Moors. Dirty Moors are people who add stuff on. You are adding stuff on to what the prophet brought. That is what a dirty Moor is. You're caked up. You had your original essence, right? You're just a Moor with a uniform on with the fez. Now you have the mantle around your neck. You have the fez with the writing on it. You have a crown like somebody gave you a crown. You're tricking yourself and you're running around thinking you're somebody's leader. You thinking you teaching somebody when somebody can write something on a sign and it'll point in a direction and send them in a direction. A sign can do the same thing you do. So why do you want some credit? Why do these niggas look for credit and fame? And as you can see, I'm exposing them. It is easy to expose these goofs. Kudjo Bey is not a Grand Sheik according to the Moorish American Divine Constitution. He's causing confusion. I never cause confusion because I have a right to question Taj Tariq. I don't know him. All he did was say, I self-law and master, and you think I'm going to believe that? So I'm on top of the game. This is part one to the expose because the guy actually did a lot of videos on me slandering my channel when I lost some viewers just because I questioned emotional Moors. I don't want nothing to do with you. And when I'm in Chicago, I'm going to let my brothers and sisters see this video to see how I expose you outsiders. You know, come to Chicago and talk to me. I don't have to do a live stream with a lean bait. I am the youth. I am not no old nigga trying to get some fame. Tell Arlene Bay to come see me. We the youth in Chicago. We not playing with you. I self-law and master is not what Islam mean. Islam mean peace. It means seeking refuge for pilgrims who got chased up out of their lands during the holy wars. You are a liar. You a liar, man. You know what will happen to you. Come to Chicago and make your meetings. Come to Mecca and make your meetings and deal with your real brothers who got passion for this. Who got passion for the Christ. For the Krishna Christ chakra. Who got passion for this, man. Come talk to your brothers, man. Because if you think I don't got no authority on this on the issue, I'm Chicago people and folks nation. Dude, you're not. You don't have no rights to talk about me and my culture. And we are saturated in Moorish science because we love our women. We with them every day. We talk to them. We break it down. You know, you break women down. You lie to them. You think you are the Moorish Science Temple of America, my man, my Sheik. Where's your Grand Sheik is at, Grand Sheik? We never seen your Grand Sheikas. At least I didn't. I don't see no videos of your Grand Sheikas. Where's her sister's auxiliary in your temple? I'm asking you honest questions, Grand Sheiko. Grand Sheik Bey. Where's your Grand Sheikas at? Where's the sister's auxiliary? You're promoting yourself in your rap all the time. Why are you not promoting the women? Because more science is all about the women. It's about the woman's womb. It's about coming up out the canals of Mary. It is about coming up out the ancient yoni. Canaanite religion is all about the vagina. That is all. What is it about? It is about the yoni. The Canaanites, the Putites are all about the vagina. You understand me? It is about the vagina. It is not about Kudjo. It is not about no man. That's why you don't see me every day doing video, more this, more that, more that. Running my mouth causes confusion. You don't see me causing confusion every day. Yoni is a Sanskrit or Prakrit word for the female genitals and the womb. In our science, even the Kaaba is based off the vagina. So the Hittites and the Canaanites are the mothers and fathers of this civilization of knowing the vagina, the mother all day, every day, governing the cycles of the earth throughout the times. So we will know the moods of our women. We will always be on top of them because we are the strength on this planet thing made manifest. We are the strength. We are the Muslims. So, the women had the children. They the head of the house, but we are the Muslim. So we got to be strong. We got to know them all day, every day, my people. And that is what more science is. And all I did was come straighten it out. And they in their feelings because they know they are playing games. Kudjo know he playing games because it is all about the women, uplifting the women. Already read the Acts. So, matter of fact, I got to read Acts 6 before I get out of here. I wasn't going to read it. I got to read it so we know that we are uplifting fallen humanity. I know this video long, but it had to be done. And I'm going to do another one. I'm going to probably do 2 more on Kudjo. Definitely got to do that, but you got to hear this. You have to hear my breakdown. You can't just let him say I'm a dirty Moor. A dirty Moor is someone who take their fez and put king on it. King El Bey. A dirty Moor is someone who takes the prophet movement and put his own twist on it and open up courthouses. You understand? A dirty Moor is somebody who wants to be a sheik, a grand sheik. He wants the power. I'm a sheik. These positions are chosen. You are chosen. Special people are chosen for these positions who are not out for fame and power. So the Yoni tradition is the female tradition. And it was abused by these goofy men. The temple of Allah at Hatra and UNESCO in the Middle East. You see the camels. This is the origin of our people going over there as the first to erect civilization in that region because we had already been making totems, right? We make the totems on the west coast of America and in the Asiatic San Juan Islands in Mexico. We make totems. When we got over there, right, that was newfound land for the Mexicans. So what you call the Olmec, when they went over there, the Mayan. That's newfound land, right? They erected civilization. That's all they're letting you know. I'm not saying that we are from Arabia when I say that is our land too. I am saying they erected the first buildings pumping the oil, and they went over there because they were merchants. They were merchandisers. I have proof in the book of Baruch. The book of Baruch was taken out the Bible as well as the book of Enoch. The book of Baruch proves that these people are merchants and very wise. And I can read from the book of Baruch. I read this stuff. I do this. Look at Balaam at the bottom and Balak. When you see Moabites and Balaam, Balakistan near Afghanistan is where the heroin is at. Balaam is where the cocaine is at. Our people was running the show and they took them out. I am not on preschool terms with Canaanland Moors and Taj Tariq. It's real. Invasion and death and murder and homicide and denationalization. It is a real touchy subject. We all have a right to question people. I am not out for fame. And he does not have a right to call me a dirty Moor for questioning anybody like he's my father. Instead of threatening Canaanland Kudjo, all I can tell that dude is come make your meetings in Chicago this January. You know what I'm saying? Come call me a dirty Moor in Chicago because we are all by birthright and by inalienable birthright Moorish Americans, whether you like me or not. You understand? So an official person, the prophet said, take off that fez and give back your nationality card if you're going to switch up what he brought, right? You want to bring something to the game as a dirty Moor, tainted Moor, turn back in that fez and your nationality card. Guess what, Bay and L? If you're not an MDM, you don't have to be questioning me and telling me nothing about no Moorish Americans. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear nothing about that. Okay, I can find it up here. Let me look. I know what I'm looking for before I get out of here and preach and teach. I want to teach you what these people was about. I showed you the Yoni. It is another good one. And before I close out on Canon, because I don't have to go in on Taj Tariq Bey. He is an old man. And there's no way I'm going to stress him out. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you fake. You an agent, Taj Tariq Bey. You an agent, Todd. I'm not going to do that. I'm simply going to say he has no authority. Look at the fez wearing navigator with the serpents in Oregon near Portland on the West Coast who are exposed as the Macaw. So, like I said, we have totems and we put up these buildings erecting civilization, letting you know we are here from ancient times. They did that in the Minor Asia in the desert by the Navajo, what you call the Navajo or the Nebato, the Nabateans. Over there in Saudi Arabia, they found oil, they found resources. They went and they took it and civilized the land because they knew what was over there. They are the first people to erect civilization. That is what we said. And it is not that complicated. I'm not saying too much. They're just putting words in my mouth. I'm just relaying information. And Canaanland Moors with the accent is hella ruffled. His feathers are ruffled. You know, because I'm questioning and stuff. And since he put my voice up, let me put his old accent up after I show what I need to show. Because it need to pop up. You know, I questioned Verdi AC Bay. I said, is she a birdash? I don't get their movement. You know, I don't get it. I'm up and coming and young. Explain it to me. You know, and because I asked the question, I'm a dirty Moor. You know, Aleem Bay, Taj Tariq Bay come up to Chicago with about 30, 40 of your Moors and prove to us that you ain't shit but some thugs. You niggas ain't shit but thugs. And Chicago people in Folks Nation is not in gangs. We don't engage in none of that nonsense, bruh. So the Grand Sheik admits MST hasn't used his servant saving power for over 80 years. And he had a debate with the MST. So this video was in response to that, right? Right? It was in response. So if he's a Grand Sheik and he got a temple, so it is as good as him. The temple is going to be as good as he wanted to be. As great as he want the temple to be, it's all up to him, my people. So if the temple ain't right, he ain't right. Do you dig how the thought of the cause of it all work? What you think is what you get. So if he thinks the temple ain't all that great, then the temple is not that great because of him. He's a Grand Sheik and his temple ain't nothing. We should have been and heard about his temple by now. You know, we should have heard all across the plain about his temple. You know how great they are. But he told us we were I self-law and master. We are self-law and master, and everybody jumped on it, and I didn't, and I'm a dirty Moor for that. That is correct. So, you know, I proved my point. And as I can see, I do not see the kabaz of vagina. That's what I'll look it up. So I don't see it right here. The kabaz is a vagina. Matter of fact, I wasted all this time. It's a site that I got in Hangouts. Let's see, I wasted all that time. Okay, so Allah's vagina is basically a vagina, the sacred black Korite vagina, that it is the mother of mothers. The darkest vagina proves that all life come from it. It is a sacred science being misconstrued and misapplied by the Moorish Americans. The Moor Americans in particular, Kudjo and Taj and them is just talking. They've been on YouTube for 10 years. We are Blackstones. We are the Blackstones of America, right? Let's look it up. If we are the Blackstones. Blackstones of Chicago. Right? Let's look this up. Now, Kudjo already did a video that he wrote Jeff Fort, Chief Malik, whatever. He did that. But we are the Stones, right? Right in Chicago. Right? We represent the Moorish science to the core. We even have a street on Marquette. We put in work like this, and we have the Moorish buildings in Chicago. If you know anything about our town, we put in work like nobody. We even named our neighborhoods off our culture. Every neighborhood, every community has its own name. And people hate us for that, and they infiltrate and try to break us down. We have a nice ethnic cultural celebration of our past and modern achievements, my people. I know my town, I know my people, I know whose shoe is Islamic, I know what it stands for, the mysticism, the Zoroastrianism, all of that belongs to us. The Moabites and Zoroastro, all of that is intertwined, as well as Buddhism. We do hell of a studying in Chicago, my people. I know what I be talking about. I made my meetings, my people. Taj Tariq Bey is not a Blackstone. He is not into Moorish science. Canaanland Kudjo is not a Moorish scientist because you are into the vagina all the time. You are always into the vagina and the science and the wisdom of knowing it so you can know your woman, so you can know yourself. And you will be a shining light of that information. You will be a reflection of that information that you're storing in yourself. You will start acting out and producing fruit. We will start seeing Moorish fruit all around your communities like this. You will start decorating it in the regalia and the symbolism offered to us by the ancestors. Right? You would have all of this. You know what I mean? You would be going in. You know, they ran in. This man kept crack out of our neighborhood, people. He protected the mothers because he's a Moorish scientist. He made sure crack didn't get in their wombs. You dig what's going on in the shot. Now, I don't know what Taj Tariq Bey is doing because we are part and parcel of what the Canaanites brought us and what the Moabites brought us. No matter how reckless we was as Moabites, ancient Moabites, Meccans, pre-Columbian Americans, we were into warrior violence and all of that. We eventually got it right and learned how to establish peace treaties and customs with each other in Africa and America and other places. And it eventually led into an empire of families all across the plain. East and west. Became a families of many, many Asiatic families. Let's see if it'll pop right up based off this search. I wish it's cool. I'm going to end this video. I'll get to talking you to death. But you see the pyramid of the moon, in Mexico, yada, yada, yada. You get it. You see the pyramid in Egypt, Mexico, and Southeast Asia. It gives you an example of the greatness of the people of getting along out of love, but out of hate, we split up. So they say I'm being divisive by doing a simple video. Kudjo, Canaanland, Moor from Nigeria, Kano State, African accent is being divided every day. He's being divisive every day because he's causing confusion. He should not be doing what he's doing as an African. He's an African, and we are Chicagoans. We have our culture. Like, say for instance, the superior sheriff of California don't like what the superior imperial sheriff of Kansas is doing, but they're all a part of the same fraternal order, right? The sheriff of that organization is not going to get up there and diss his brotherhood, fraternal brotherhood, on the air because they are a government of justice, right? That is what you're dealing with the Moor. A Moor is worth more than a bailiff. That is correct. So a Moor making videos about U.S. citizens every day and other Moors is causing confusion. He do it every day. Kudjo Bey do it every day. You know it. He's like a child. He's like an immature child. And he's projecting onto me what he's really doing so you won't see him most plainly. The Circle 7 Holy Quran teaches us that where you fail to see yourself, others discover you most plainly. So he quickly pointed the finger at his quickest threat when it comes to information and his path to fame. I'm his threat. So he hurried up and said, look at him. So you won't look at him. But you're going to look at him today because he's an African. He's nothing but an African. Most of those people are from Africa. Those Canaanland people, they are the lion of the Sahara. You see, they are the lions of the Sahara in the Seir Mountains. They have a different bloodline, even though we have similar practices. You dig? And some of us we marry into them right now today, but mentally, we are not the same. Intelligent-wise, we are not the same. But you melanin-wise, we will always be Israelites under the sun. And that is why Israelites got into it with Moabites, because we were so great with grandeur, with our temples. We look good, we dress good. And Israelites said, look, you are not bigger than nobody. That's why they really joke about us and call us Moabites, because we were more. We thought we were better than everybody. We were hard-headed and stiff-necked. The prophet talked about how we are hard-headed and stiff-necked, and we are today like that. We are Moabites. We are Motown. We are Mo Better Blues. We better than all you niggas. That's how we think in America, and the prophet taught us how to love instead of hate. And the Israelite tradition taught us that everybody is a child under the sun, and we should not feel like that we are better than Africans. This is this traditional beef. We think we are better than Africans. Africans think they are better than us. Hawaiians think they are better than us. Little islanders think they are better than us. Everybody's competing, but Israelite has a spiritual understanding of the sun shining on all of us, loving us all equally. So we should love each other equally, and that is the lesson from all of this. Moabites is nationalism, saying that we are the Moors and one nation cannot govern over another. We must worship from our own vine and fig tree, which is true. So we do that, but we was doing it out of hate back in the day. We are doing it out of love. We are celebrating our culture out of love in Chicago. We are not hating on each other or nobody else. And the Canaanland Cano Moors of the Sierra Lions are from Africa, who came to Quebec and Nova Scotia. Let's look it up. Let's say Nova Scotia blacks, loyalists. Let me see. Immigrate to Sierra Leone. Okay, black loyalists. Okay, let's get a story. Okay, in 1792, approximately 1,200, by estimate, black Nova Scotian settlers left Halifax, Nova Scotia, and immigrated to Sierra Leone. The majority of free blacks did remain in Nova Scotia and made communities. Now, these Canaanites are the lion who came over here to help fight. And, they went back home after a while. They wound up going back to Africa. The remainder of them in the Canadian area, where Canaanland Moors, are Africans. Now, he's a highly spirited islander type person with the accent, and he's an Israelite. He's saying, look, no matter if I got the accent or not, we are all children of the sun. We are all children of Allah. That is his stance. But we are Moabites. We are Chicagoans. We all understand that we need to be, spiritual and divine and loving, not hating on Africans and other foreigners. But you all know we have the ADOS mentality, even in Chicago. Now, I understand I will always love every Moorish, and I won't call them no dirty Moor because I questioned something. And that is why I did this video about Canaanland Moors. because we need to question his intent while he wants everyone to question mine. Why would he call me a dirty Moor for questioning somebody who's supposed to be a grand sheik, walking up on a city concrete an amusement park designed for commerce and commercialization? Why would you go out there acting like you're advising anybody? You already know the game and the scam. You know the way of life and what this money is all about, Taj Tariq. You know what's going on. And if you are not MDM, you are causing confusion because you got to keep the profit out in front. All right? So, Canaanland Moors. Why are Moors using them to slander? So he's saying I use them to slander somebody. All I want you to do is ask me where did I slander somebody. I questioned Taj Tariq Bey. I showed you the Moor Science Temple of America Constitution. Let's go in. I said I wanted to read Acts 6 and 7. Right. Okay. So, this organization of the Moor Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Taj Tariq Bey is to be brought up on causing confusion, and he is supposed to obey the Constitution. So he has to keep the MDM and uplift fallen humanity. He cannot start consular courts. I don't know anything about that right now. So I have a right to question him. And Act 1 tells us the Grand Sheik makes laws and enforce laws. So he's a law official playing on YouTube. Now let's go in on this guy. Since he wants to, play with us American Moabites. African, don't play with me. Okay, I need to go to your vids. I need to hear your voice. I need to let my Chicagoans hear your voice. So when I'm up there protecting my namesake, when I'm making sure my channel is not BS, I gotta let the Chicagoans know what you're talking about. We gotta let them know what we up against. Let them know what we up against.
Of all free governments claim a constitution in their free national name. Those who fail to recognize this national name are classed as undesirable, subject to names inferior and abuses with mistreatments. Citizens care to bestow on them in.
Okay, Canaanland Moors is a rapper.
We are live here at Old City Hall where the Moors have returned. Sir, do you have anything to say about this matter?
Yeah, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
Yep. Sir, what do you have to say?
I just want to put it on the record. I'm not ready. Yeah, what he said. Moore's life matters.
Inquisitionist governors and secretaries of state got stateless on their tables like ribeye steak with no care, blood dripping. They eat blacks rare. Foreigners wearing 6-point badges, pretending they're heirs to the vastness of state Maghrib al-Aqsa. Stateless blood flow past the horses.
Alright, that is actually some great lyrics. They're wearing them badges, acting like they heirs to the land. That is good information from the African imposter. I'm not saying that. Just like somebody accused me in one of his chats saying that I'm mixing truth with lies. But I quickly rebutted his claims that I'm a dirty Moor and I denationalized Taj Tariq Bey because I cannot denationalize Tariq Bey. If Taj Tariq Bey is denationalized because I said he's denationalized, I got the power to denationalize Canaanland Moors. You are denationalized. Canaanland Moors. Since you spread that rumor that I did that to Taj, you are denationalized. You are not a Grand Sheik. Canaanland Moors. You said it out yourself. I screenshotted it. Did I denationalize Taj Tariq? Because I didn't put a bay on his neck, which is a bailiff. He's running the show with the enforcing of the laws. He's a Grand Sheik. He's enforcing the laws. He's on the street corners playing around, with these policy ordinance officials that you sign up to. You're rapping and snapping and bebopping, right? You're the man. You're a Moorish MC. It says you're a Moorish MC. You're hopping around. Let's get a good one. Right, okay.
Problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know corners, across highways, past hedges and through borders. Move on dirty Moors like broken down waters. Watch out.
Okay, this dude love calling people dirty Moors. Now, I'm going to give you the definition of a dirty Moor right now. A dirty Moor is someone who take what Noble Drew Ali, the divine prophet, brought in his instructions and add stuff to it. So that's like me taking the Moor Science Temple charter, right? I get the charter to open up a MST of A temple. And then I put, instead of MST of A, I'll put Elijah Ills Moor Science Temple of America, temple this, that, and the third. And I put it under 501c3 instead of 805 Illinois. Or I simply just be a subordinate temple of the number one temple that's already established. I can do it that way and be in conjunction with the families of men who've been studying since Noble Drew Ali brought us this great information. If you are a dirty Moor, you basically take what the prophet brought and do what you want to do with it. That is what Washita do. That's what all these little groups do. Al Mork this, Al Merakush that, Indian Nation, Yamasee Moor this, all that. They add stuff to it. They're all taking what the prophet brought and add stuff to it. That is dirty. You are filthy. Your fez is filthy. You cannot be a rapping MC and get respected. Like I might have seen a couple cops do a video of them rapping. You know, I don't know. I think President Obama might have rapped or played a jazz instrument or something. You know, one of the presidents played the flute. You dig what I'm saying? You know, they showed off their skills. I think Farrakhan even plays the violin. All of them got, talent in the music and entertainment. Not hating that. But guess what? A grand sheik is empowered to make law and enforce law. And he cannot be in them YouTube chats disrespecting Aborigines, talking about he's going to hack their heads off, threatening them to go to war in the YouTube chats. He cannot be calling me a dirty Moor. He don't know me. I don't have enough force and power to be a dirty Moor. I cannot alter anyone's life but my life. You know, Taj Tariq Bey wants to open consular courts, right? So look it up. And I can't question it. Where is it getting us? It's a dirty dude right here, man. Right? Shout out to those who waited to do a video on me and you didn't jump the gun. You better had waited to do a video on me. But he couldn't wait. I tried to wait y'all out. I was going to drop a video last night, but I chose not to. So he has the restoration of consular courts. He's going to have his own law-abiding party that goes out and bring people to justice, especially if you're a Moor. So he don't have no money to protect or no resources, so I don't even know the purpose of this. And we have the MDM. Let's say Moorish Divine Movement. Let's look that up. And this video is a wrap. Because we can always come back instead of talking forever. Okay. You go to RB Bay. I don't mind going to RB Bay. Exhuming of the nation. The old Canaanite. I showed you the Canaanite. And the Yoni, the origin of the mother. So the Moorish Divine Movement is like an umbrella or mother movement out of which expanded activities have developed and taken root in society. So we have many, many groups, man, who come up out of this, who might set up their own independent business outside of the temple. Outside of the temple, people established the Zulu Nation, the Washita Nation, the Moors of Hiawatha, the Moors of this, the Moors of that. That is their own personal endeavor. All I said was, if you are not in the MD, the Moorish Divine National Movement, you cannot speak for Noble Drew Ali, because this is his movement. The Moorish Science Temple of America is where us scientists meet to study the nature of our women in the womb and the cycles of the stars and the sun and the moon. That is all I did. I didn't do anything wrong. And then you see how these Moorish MCs from Africa is not on the same wavelength as us. If you paid attention to the lessons that you got up out of this whole ordeal, you can see these foreigners and these agents are not the same as us. They don't breathe like us. They don't move like us. They don't think like us. That is why he got emotional and jumped the gun and called me all those names. I simply questioned some stuff that was on TV, that was on a screen being promoted. I don't trust it because I know the MDNM don't know anything about these jokers. Nobody ever said they took these dudes serious in Chicago. When I proclaimed my nationality, nobody ever told me I had to learn from Taj Tariq Bey. When I was in the temple, when I left the temple, people had his books at their home. You know what I'm saying? We studied all types of Moors, even R.B. Bey. Plenty Moors who put out literature we study, but we never stopped putting the prophet out in front. My people. We never stopped putting the prophet out in front. We never stopped studying the Zodiac Constitution of C.M. Bey. You understand? And we abide by the prophet's instructions. So we're not abiding by Taj Tariq's instructions. Do you get it? If you are not MDNM, leave the prophet alone. Do your own little Moorish thing. Because the prophet said he's going to take your affairs. He's going to take your nationality card. You understand? Let's go back. I'm going to find out 6 and 7. Close the video up. And you be the judge on if I cause confusion or them. Just simply tell me. Don't be afraid to let me know if I'm causing confusion. Act 6. With us, members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed. And they may know that they are a part and partial of this said government and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live in the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained noble Drew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. We inhabited that place and civilized it, and that is our possessions as well. All Moorish possessions is not just in Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and partial of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. That means all members must attend their meetings. They got to be in the temple. They cannot open up their own demonstrations and speak for the prophet. If you want to speak for the prophet, come to the temple and get on the podium. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful husband. You must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey fathers and mothers and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his father, God Allah. So, these are the divine instructions, and they are acts. You must act out. You must do this. You cannot stop doing it. And once you get up out the temple, when you leave the temple, right, and you start your industry, and you booming, you still have to make your meetings as of Act 7. So, even though you might not have to make the mandatory meeting on Friday, you might miss out on meeting with your brothers, because Friday is the day that we celebrate. It's our holy day. It's actually universal, you know, because that was the day of the first man forming in flesh and departing in flesh. You know, so if you balling, you are balling more, you think you can have your own understanding, your own YouTube channel, you know, it still come to the temple and donate and pay your dues. Pay your dues, nigga. Okay, so we read Act 6, Act 7. We know root words 1 is guilty of Act 6 and Act 7 because he has to proclaim his nationality. And the divine creed, we know the divine creed is the mother, right? The yoni, and the science behind it. This is the number one religion, the first religion. And members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. You are not entitled to the name faithful root words if you are not making your meetings. Correct. So I read that. I proved that. Right? Now, Canaanland Moors, Taj Tariq Bey, are they guilty of causing confusion? Do you have courage to call them out like me? I do. If you are Moor's Divine National Movement, that means that you are keeping the prophet out first. You are not rapping, trying to get contracts and stuff for your name, mixing that lawful aspect of the divine movement up with your own personal gain. You know, being a temple in the church, right, in your religion and your spirituality, doing one thing, but being an entertainment is another. So we should know about Kudjo Bey only. His rap should be some old other crap. You know, Canadian OG or something. That should be that. And, you know, on the side. Nigga, I don't want to know about all that. Teach me law. Don't confuse me. Don't play with me. You understand? You playing with me. And you playing in these chats using profanity, disrespecting people, talking about you will hack their heads off. You causing confusion. Root Words 1 causing confusion. Taj Tariq Bey is causing confusion. This is my video. This is what I believe. If you are in DM, Moor's Divine Movement, keep the prophet out front. That's all I said. If you got a problem with that, you know, hit me up in the chat, man. You know, you ain't got to call me a dirty Moor because I didn't add anything to what the prophet MDNM is about. I'm uplifting fallen humanity and I'm questioning everything the prophet brought. I questioned Taj Tariq. I questioned Canaanland Moors. I did what the prophet told me to do. If you don't believe me, people, that they are some goddamn crisis actors, you can look it up. Oral statements. I'm talking about all you got to do is read it. That is what this is really all about. Getting you to read. Once you read, you can put 2 and 2 together, my people, on who is lying or not. I'm telling you, my people, once you read his statements, every one of them, the 101s, the 102s, the bylaws, the Circle 7 Holy Quran, you will discover them most plainly. The prophet said that. He said your own Moors with these fezzes on will enslave you with their thoughts because they have to keep him out in front. We don't need to know their fantasies and their beliefs. I'm not saying don't rap to draw in the people with our culture, but guess what? You are an enforcement official. Act accordingly, and you are guilty of ethics violations. Kudjo the African. So let's go in on him. My video is a wrap. What is a prophet? So another problem Kudjo has with me is me saying that I'm a soothsayer or someone who can see, or, you know, all Moors are mystics. We come from the mystic tradition. We practice this. What good is it to be the son of Allah? Right? Allah is the father of the universe, according to the Moorish American prayer. And he is always leading by day and by night ahead of us. And we see this prophet, right? And he is an inspired teacher or a proclaimer of the will of God. Let's say prophet in Islam. What is a prophet? So he's putting me in harm, people. An individual who is regarded as being in contact with the divine being and is said to speak on the entity's behalf, serving as an intermediary with humanity by delivering the messages or teachers from the supernatural source to other people. Now we know Allah speaks to man through man, if you're a prophet or not. We know Allah is the father in the universe. We know Allah is the father of the prophet. We know that Allah is the prophet of me. We know he speaks to me to speak to you. That is the only way this is going to work. The prophet is someone at a time when we were needing certain information. He delivered it to us. And when it comes to the highest place known to man, the highest place to attain information, the information that is most important, that is most intelligent, that is always Allah, leading in victory. So when you hear this type of information, it is prophetic because we are all from the prophet bloodline, and we are taught prophethood. Once you get into this, you accept one day that you could be the one to lead. You have to be on your square all the time because you might have to step up. And that is what Moor Science is all about, preparing you so you won't be off your square, getting caught slipping. So anything could happen. Whole empires, whole communities was destroyed. And people didn't know no information. They were ignorant. And in order to defeat that from happening again, the prophet brought you the information of the ages, that you are all yea gods. Everybody is yea God. Now you tell me which one is more higher, a God or a prophet, someone who's delivering some information for a little while. You are all deities. You are all children of the sun equally. Stop hating each other. Stop hating each other. Love your brothers and sisters, because you are hating yourself. So if I hate on Drew Ali, I'm hating myself. So if he's a prophet, I'm a prophet. Once he gave me the information, I became equal to him. I am not taking over his movement, because the MDM is his. His name is on it. It will be fraud and I will go to jail. So let's look at this paragraph. A Nazir is a warner. A prophet is a Nabi. That is why we have the Nabateans and the Navajo. Let's look them up in the video. And messenger is Rasul. Rasul is messenger. Prophet is Nabat. And let's say Nabatean. You see Nabate, right? This is Nabian. These are Nabateans. That means prophets. Many people are a part of the prophet, of the prophetic bloodline. So all of these families are feeling like they're a prophet. They are all prophets, and the ones who stay pure and clean keep their ability to stay in tune with the eternal one above. Nabateans are from Negev. I was just recently researching Negev, and I found some great information about Moab that I'm going to expose, but this is common information to break down. You know, this is common sense, easy to break down. Negev, Petra, all of this, these caverns where these Korites used to dig into the ground. We find them in America, we find them over there. Signs and symbols for the conscious mind, right? They left these markings in their journey and their migrations. People, they already trekked them, right? So a Nabi is a prophet. And we have the Navajos, we have the Naz Perce, we have these prophet town America. Navajo, because the actual pronunciation of Nabatean is Nabataho. Nabataho. These are all families. Nez Perce. All of these people. Let's say YC. Right? The YC. Divine Decree. Right? We see these people in America. Wasika. Right? We pay attention to signs and symbols. Wasika. This is where Hiawatha is at. These are sightseers. They are killing the prophetic bloodline. Right? They are killing the prophets. All the children from the original prophetic bloodline. Right? And this clown, trust me, is a goddamn agent. Sheik Bey. We are the children of these people, and they came back to remind us with a divine prophet to let us know that we are the children of the noble and the most noble sightseers, the people who can see, draw things out before it happens, tell you that you're going to fail before you even fail. You know, they can tell you all of this. They exist right not too far from where we're at in Chicago, right? So the prophet's tradition is in America. We got proof. We even have Moabites in America. And I'm going to show you the story on why they was taught a good lesson by the Israelites and why they got their mind right and stopped being boastful. So we know Tecumseh, Tecum, all of them got something to do with the prophets, right? Lafayette, Indiana, Chicago, all of this, right? Battle with Tippecanoe. The man is simply saying, I'm not a prophet. I'm taking over the prophet's movement, when the prophet just reminded us that we are all in part of the sun. We shine like the sun, and he told us to radiate with this information. And your hating ass brother don't want me to be like the prophet. And the prophet told us to emulate him. And that is why I need Kudjo to meet me in Chicago. Let's see if we can pull that up. Prophet Noble. Shoot, I wish I would have had that before I even did the video. And I'm going to end this so y'all can go in and absorb this, and I can go in on him. The prophet did not drink or smoke and told the Moors to imitate him. Right? So you can look at that manual yourself, but you understand imitate and emulate means, do the same. So he wants you to do the same. And it says right here. Right? He don't want you to smoke, drink, and cuss and do all of that crazy stuff Grand Sheik is doing with the Aborigines and Negroes on YouTube. Look it up for yourself and see what the prophet said do. And he told you to be active. And if you look at the laws of the Moorish American Divine Constitution, you can tell for yourself if the African Canaan Sierra the Lion is causing confusion. Now, please let me know what you think in the chat, because I know you might be confused. Because I know a lot of y'all roll with me, and you just don't understand the Moor part of this beef of who is really Moorish and who's not. Your nationality and your birthright is that for you. We cannot let these zealots cause confusion. We have our own culture of the Mississippi and Chicago, and we had the Moabites mentality once upon a time, and now we are spiritual and divine, keeping the prophet out in front. We appreciate him from taking us up out our fallen stages of Negro, black, and colors, thinking we are gangs, thinking we are gangsters, hustlers, pimps, all of that. And we are still Chicagoans, though, Canaanland African. So, people, let me know if you think I was wrong or not. I listen to you. I read your comments. And the more shoot down, thumbs down my video, you are emotional. You are emotional. You are not more scientists, because you need to stay up in that vagina, and you need to stay up in these women's, putting them out front, letting them know that they are the leaders to keep all of this away from us. They got to be balanced. We got to be balanced. So do your job and go uplift fallen humanity. I read it to you. I proved it to you. Now let me know where I was wrong. Peace out.